It is a constant struggle for teachers getting students to put their phones away and focus on their schoolwork. Good evening, I'm Lee Nelson.
And I'm Lindsay Mills. Now lawmakers in Augusta are looking at ways to change that, and they're looking at banning the use of cell phones in schools altogether. Samantha York, this is something that we were talking about a lot in our newsroom earlier today. Would this ban be just for class time, or would it be completely no cell phones at all?
So as the bill is written right now, it basically says no using cell phones during class time, in between class, and even lunchtime. You know, many argue that phones are tools for learning, but say they're becoming a big factor in students not doing well in school. So we want to hear from you at home. Weigh in on our Pulse poll by going to our app or pulse.newscentermaine.com. Let us know if you think students shouldn't be allowed to use phones in school. Now, going back to that bill, the lawmaker behind it says this wouldn't just prevent distractions during learning, but help reduce things like bullying, sexting, and even drug trafficking. I also spoke to a school resource officer who says this is a bigger problem stemming from addiction to phones and social media. They say this constant connectivity not only takes a toll on kids' success in the classroom, but also their mental health. Bullying is a huge issue for them and something they see every day. So they believe removing devices like cell phones from the equation could make a huge difference.
While they're supposed to be in the classroom learning, unfortunately they're being bombarded with 100 text messages about what somebody was doing and what they think about them. Kids are supposed to be learning their math and everything, and unfortunately they're more worried about what Susie thinks that she looks like. The harassment's huge, the bullying is huge, and they just don't get a break from it.
All right, so it's interesting because it seems like the teachers are saying the kids aren't paying attention, they're looking at their phones, so this is kind of easy. I mean,
right.
It seems like a lot of people would get behind this. What are the parents saying about this?
Well, and that's a good point. That's something that people brought up. So they say parents, they want to be able to get in touch with their kids, especially if there's an emergency. But the argument is that if a parent needs to get in touch with their child, they can call the main office and leave a message. They also argued that if there was an emergency at school, having an influx of calls come in from parents because their child was texting them about it would be almost impossible to respond to.
And when you talk about impossible tasks, I mean, talk to any teacher and they say enforcing something like this is the most difficult thing you could ever do. So how would this even be implemented or enforced?
And that's another good question. And right now, schools are already working on ways to cut down on phone use during the school day, and many districts wouldn't have the resources to make sure every student wasn't using them during the day.
Outright prohibition has been tried on some school campuses, but it didn't work because of the policing that is required. We believe the better approach is to talk to our students about the proper use of all electronic devices and continue to discuss civility and the digital citizenship guidelines introduced in our schools around the laptop program.
Now, we asked you earlier today at home what you thought of the idea, and here are some of the comments that we got on Facebook. Ald says, regardless of what the state decides, I will be the one making the decision for my children. Kristen says, honestly, almost anything they can do on their phones, they can do on their school-provided iPad. I think schools in my city do a great job at keeping use down, but again, their iPads do the same stuff. And Christine says there's no reason at all for a student to have a phone during school hours. Schools need to start being stricter with the consequences. Now, if this bill were to pass, districts would be in control of how to implement the new rules and any disciplinary action, but ultimately they feel this is a good way to start changing the way students are paying attention in school. So
it's really interesting. You know, I think it's easy for those of us who went to school some time ago to say, you know, we never had phones in school, and so it was no big problem. But we didn't have the emergencies in school like they have now either.
Right.
So there's a lot of elements to this story.
It's just finding that balance of, you know, making sure kids are paying attention, but still, you know, staying in touch with mom and dad. You know, it's tough. So
the iPad point was a great point by that one viewer. That's exactly what I was thinking when I first heard this today. So
many different
Sam, you'll be on top of this one for us. I know it. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
All right, should we find out what's happening weather-wise?
I think so. I'm hoping this nice weather's here to stay. Jess?
Yes? It's pretty much here to stay. Yes? No, we're going to have one more day that actually cools off a little bit. Then, Lindsay, you'll get your wish. We're back into the 40s and 50s by the end of the week. Some of us may even see some 60s coming up. So right now it's 37 in Bangor, Portland currently at 44 degrees. It's not too bad. Actually, these were the high temperatures for today, but we're pretty close to this right now. Here's a look at our current temperatures. 36 in Bangor, 43 in Portland. Augusta's at 36 and Waterville at 36 degrees as well. But there's cooler air off to our north and west. And guess what? It's a little breezy out there still, those winds coming from the northwest. And so temperatures will cool off pretty significantly overnight tonight. Winds right now gusting to around 20 to 25 miles an hour, close to 30 miles an hour in some spots. Temperatures are going to cool off quite a bit tonight, so we'll start off tomorrow. Many of us will be down into the teens. It's going to be tough for us to warm up much at all tomorrow. The clear skies tonight will really help us cool off a little bit more as well. Once we get through the day tomorrow, though, temperatures are headed in, I think, a pretty good direction. We'll be in the 30s tomorrow, then 40s, and then by the end of the week, we're talking 50s and 60s, guys. Looks like it's going to be pretty nice by Thursday and Friday, guys.
Excellent. Sounds great, Jess. Thank you very much. Let's check out some news now. President Trump and White House staff are celebrating the findings of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. The Attorney General released a summary of that report yesterday, which he says found no evidence the Trump team worked with the Russians to influence the presidential election. The president is claiming total exoneration as Congress continues with its own investigations.
Ethiopian Airlines CEO says the pilots who flew the plane that crashed on March 10th had trained on all appropriate simulators. The airline apparently owns simulators to help pilots train on the Boeing 737 MAX, which has software that requires new training. The software can pitch the plane's nose down in some cases to keep it from stalling.
U.S. prosecutors on both coasts have charged President Trump critic and attorney Michael Avenatti with extortion and bank and wire fraud. In fact, he was arrested today in New York. Avenatti tweeted that he planned to hold a news conference regarding Nike tomorrow morning, but less than 45 minutes later, prosecutors announced the extortion charges. We're going to have more information on this story on our website and mobile app as well.
A dangerous EF4 tornado ripped through Alabama earlier this month, destroying anything in its path. But there's something you definitely have to see. It's a story of survival. It's gone viral online. Take a look at this. The slab of a home with nothing left, but two partial walls of a closet. This closet was apparently used as a prayer closet, according to the person who went down there, surveyed the damage, and snapped this picture. And as you can see, it's the only thing left standing. Officials described it as the deadliest day of tornadoes in the U.S. in nearly 6 years.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
It is. Hey, a reminder, News Center Maine holding our second Red Cross blood drive. It's on the 27th, so coming right up here. We'll be in 5 locations throughout the state: Portland, Bangor, Waterville, Rockland, and Lewiston. And we're asking all of you to register for the blood drive ahead of time. For more information on how to do that, you can just go to our website and mobile app, and it's pretty easy to do. So there you go.
Very easy. It was so busy last year. A lot of people came out during their lunch breaks,
right,
and they actually had to be turned away,
right,
just because there wasn't enough
right,
space to handle
so
the volume.
Don't want that to happen to you
No,
again
definitely
this year.
not. No.
Got it.
All right, one last check of our pulse poll before we head to break. Overwhelmingly, you're saying no, that students should students be allowed to use cell phones in school? Overwhelmingly, no.
Interesting.
All right.
Let's squeeze in a break. Coming up, employees at a restaurant in Waterville pretty happy because of some generosity from a customer over the weekend.
And it's not just the patients giving birth at one local hospital. The nurses are just about ready too. A baby boom at Maine Medical Center when we come back. That was cool. Yeah. I didn't realize what time it was this morning. I woke up, I saw the story, I thought, I want to do this. I called dibs, and then I texted Caroline Cornish to say, like, if we could arrange. I didn't realize it was at 7 a.m. and she's like, I'll find out in 2 hours when I get in. I felt so bad. I just wasn't thinking. How's everybody doing on the Facebook?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta. Oh, it's already open. Yay! Somebody help me out to make my life easier.
All good. Hey Liam, we had a question about a problem with audio and video syncing, but sometimes that happens, right? And then it works itself out. Yeah, it could just be like the internet or something.
Did the
We just had it there going into the bump.
Okay. We didn't talk about it. I just didn't see it pop up again.
Hello, Lee and Lindsay. Hello, Jeffrey.
Jean says, get rid of the laptops and bring back the books.
Okay, this is interesting too. James saying there should be a place for students to put their phones up by the teacher and be able to get them if an emergency arises. That's interesting because some schools are actually doing that, right?
Yeah.
Where they have like a little pouch that locks
I've
and you
seen
put
those.
it in there. I don't
Yeah,
think,
of course.
Yeah, sure.
That just made me think of something. I don't know where I should stand.
Yeah, come stand in the middle.
On
so
your
it's
head.
nice
You
to-
go ahead,
yeah.
stand. That would be good.
Somebody had talked about the fact that they, in some classrooms, you know those like shoe holders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will use that. That's how they take attendance. So the kids check their phones in.
Oh,
So they're at the front of the classroom.
There
how
you go.
smart
That's how
is
you let
that?
the teacher know you're there.
Right.
And then if there's an emergency.
Right.
That's
it seems
so
like
smart.
it seems like that's a pretty good way. So the
Oh,
so the
monitors.
kids have. Does that mean we're
Yeah,
walking? Okay.
I think so.
The kids have their phones, right, in case anything
Right, they're there.
happens, but they're not with them on their person, and they have to, and they can't like sneak them out under the desk because they're in the front of the room.
Right.
Makes sense.
Another
Problem solved. Well, maybe
Another
not
thing
that
we were
easy, but-
talking about this morning too is like some teachers encourage the use of cell phones. Like one of our colleagues, his wife is an art teacher and she teaches digital photography, teaches kids how to take great pictures
that's
with
an
their phones.
exception, though. That's
I think so
yeah,
too.
yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah. Because they're absolutely a tool.
Yeah.
So yes, I can see that, but I can see how that would be a huge issue.
Yeah.
And it
It
must
is
be hard
distracting.
for them for the teachers not to get really angry if it happens over and over and over.
Oh
again.
yeah. And, teachers have to have a level of patience that I could never have in general.
It is something most wait staff can only dream of, a customer leaving a ridiculously generous tip. That's exactly what happened Saturday night at the Silver Street Tavern and Restaurant that's in Waterville, when a customer who wants to remain anonymous left a $2,000 tip.
Wow.
The bill was under $50.
Wow.
14 people were working that night, March 23rd, including wait staff, bartenders, and the kitchen staff, so they all walked away with an extra $142. The standard, by the way, 20% tip would have been $9.75. The tip the couple left behind was 20,000% more.
They have some good karma coming their
Yes,
way, I
they
would
do.
imagine. Okay, guys, Apple officially unveiling its much anticipated video streaming service, Apple TV Plus. It will feature exclusive original shows and movies. The new ad-free service will be available this fall in more than 100 countries. There's no word yet on how much that will cost or if they'll charge like a subscription service or whatever like Netflix and Hulu do. The company also announced its very own credit card called Apple Card to help pay for all that. Users will receive 3% daily cash back on Apple purchases, 2% cash back for Apple Pay, and then another bonus when using the physical credit card to make other purchases. The Apple Card will be coming to the Wallet app this summer, so you can look for that.
The French Spider-Man, so Spider Monsieur, I guess you could say,
There you go.
scaled a skyscraper in Paris without a harness to raise money for the renovation of the Notre Dame Cathedral. Alain Robert was seen going to the top of this 600-foot glass-fronted building. Before the climb, he said he wanted to give a helping hand for the renovation of the cathedral, and he hoped others would do so too, maybe not in the same way. The Archbishop of Paris is trying to raise more than 100 million euros to save Notre Dame's crumbling gargoyles and Gothic arches. Robert was arrested shortly after completing the climb because while charitable, his climb was also illegal.
And very scary. Don't try that at home.
Right?
Even if it's for a good cause.
Even
Guys,
if you have a
yeah.
600 glass foot building in your
Yeah.
home, don't try it.
Exactly, exactly. A lot of you joining the conversation right now on our Facebook live stream about this. Should students be allowed to use cell phones in school? Overwhelmingly, most of you saying nope.
Yeah, not even close. Later in the broadcast, we try the Florida Man Challenge. The results are pretty hysterical.
They really are. Plus, Jess returns with her latest forecast. You'll want to stay tuned for that. Yeah, Teshia, is that how you say your name, Teshia? Tisha? She says she agrees. Put the phones in their own little cubbies in school.
Right?
Fair enough. You know, a lot of kids walk to school too, so that was one of the reasons why I had one as a kid, not like a little kid, but in high school I walked home from school, so I needed that cell phone in case something came up.
So this is replying to Kathleen. Chloe says, Kathleen, we need calculators. The math we do is severely hard. The curricular has changed from when some of you were in school. That may be so, but you can buy a calculator for like $1.
That's true.
And you can even buy like a more, a big time calculator that can do all the math that I can't do for like $30.
Right.
So you don't need a $1,000 phone
That's fair.
to be doing that, I don't think.
That's fair. I think I got one of my Texas Instrument calculators for pre-calculus on like eBay one year or something like that, or used on Amazon, and it wasn't bad. I saved a lot of money that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of you guys taking a hard no stance. This definitely is something we all are interested in.
Roger's like, absolutely not. I didn't need one when I went to school, and I don't need one now, and I'm 56. And I think I may be in the same age range as you, and it's kind of easy to fall back on that for sure.
Chada says yes. They should have cell phones in school. If I need to get a hold of my child, they should be able to check their phones during breaks, lunch, but not during class. I mean, I think it's really tough, but it should be a responsibility lesson, you know, like, and just almost like.
Again, though.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay. Oh, we're in the newsroom now.
Oh,
the
gotcha.
thing is it an emergency, or do you just need to get some info from your child? I mean, I think that.
Right.
I think that if it's.
But it's like
not
manners,
important,
you know?
you could go through the teacher or the front office.
Sorry. Exactly. I remember when the front office used to let us know if like someone's parent needed to call a kid out of class or whatever.
Plus, that was like a great excuse for you to go. I'll go to the front office,
Exactly.
Mr. Jones.
I'll hang out at the principal's for once.
Okay, I think this is your story, right?
Yeah.
Why don't I stop after hearing this, and
Sure.
you just jump in, 9 nurses.
You got it.
Give me a little nod or something. Mike.
2, 1.
So you're probably going to wonder what is in the water at Maine Med when you hear this story.
9 nurses there are all expecting, and the timing was unexpected. Their life's work is to help bring new lives into the world. Pretty soon, though, these nurses will help each other do just that.
I feel like every other day we would come into work and there would be like, someone else is pregnant, and then we'd start writing a list.
The Stork appears to be setting up shop at Maine Medical Center, specifically in the labor and delivery unit.
I think that there was a moment of shock once we started getting to, pregnant nurse number like 6, 7, 8, like, okay. 9
nurses announcing they're pregnant, their due dates back to back. 2 in April, 2 more in May, June, then July. Some expecting for the first time. Brittany Verville posting a photo with 8 of the 9 to Facebook. Before long, the baby boom blew up.
All of a sudden it was like at 50 likes, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's at 50 likes. And then we went to bed because we worked night shift, and we woke up and we're like, oh my gosh, I think we're viral.
I think it's comforting knowing that we will be taking care of each other.
And comfort in knowing on this floor, someone's bound to know what to expect when expecting.
The greatest floor for like pregnancy resources, because everywhere we look, there's someone that's an expert.
So there is a plan in place at the hospital to cover all of those maternity leaves.
Yeah.
There are 80 registered nurses currently working in the labor and delivery unit, according to the hospital. So a lot of people will be picking up extra shifts. They might bring in some temporary nurses, that sort of thing, but they assure us they're going to be okay.
Got it. And that was a great picture, too, wasn't it?
I know,
Yeah,
and
it's
they're
awesome
missing
picture.
someone in that
Oh, are
picture,
they?
too. So
Okay.
to imagine one more person. Yeah, she couldn't make it for the photo, but so one woman's holding 2 due date cards, and a lot of people think she's expecting twins. That's not the case. She's just the bookmark for the other person.
Yeah, that
Got
picture
it.
is awesome.
Got it, got it.
So funny. Great.
I
right.
know.
Well, we had a pretty nice day today, right? It
Yes.
wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be a little bit cooler, but after that, it's going to improve. It's going to be pretty nice, or to close to 60 degrees. It looks like by the end of this week and into the weekend. 36 though right now in Bangor. 43 is the current temperature in Portland. It's 37 in Bar Harbor. Down to 26 already in parts of northern Maine. There is much colder air off to our north and west. That's headed this way, so overnight tonight we are definitely going to cool off quite a bit. Clear skies that are out there right now are also going to help us cool off overnight, so be ready for a chilly start to the day tomorrow. And again, it's going to stay fairly cool tomorrow, but after that, looking pretty good. This system here will stay off to our south. We have clear skies off to our west, and it's high pressure that's moving in. That's going to keep us nice and bright for tomorrow, into Wednesday, even into part of the day on Thursday. So let's go through the forecast here. Overnight tonight, a couple snow showers possible across far northern Maine. The mountains too could see a few flurries tonight. Then by tomorrow morning, temperatures drop down into the teens and low to mid 20s. So again, a cool start tomorrow, but it's going to warm up some. We'll make it into the low to mid 30s for the day tomorrow. It's looking pretty good though, nice and bright, plenty of sunshine for your Tuesday. Then as we go overnight and into the day on Wednesday, temperatures will stay a little bit more comfortable. We'll see temperatures on Wednesday morning starting out in the low to mid 20s again, but by Wednesday afternoon, we'll finally start to warm back up. We'll be able to make it into the 40s. Cannot get the clicker to work. There we go. We'll be able to make it into the 40s as we head into Wednesday afternoon. Headed in the right direction as we go into Thursday. Looks like it's going to be even warmer. Upper 40s on Thursday. Look at this, mid 50s on Friday. Check out Saturday though, upper 50s and close to 60 possible for the second half of the weekend. So if you want that warmer air, it's definitely on the way. Unfortunately though, it does come with a little drawback. Some showers as we head into Friday. Looks like a good chance for showers early Friday morning. Another chance for a few showers during the day on Saturday. Another chance for rain as we go into the day on Sunday. And then as we head into April 1st, could even see a few snowflakes by next Monday. It's not an April Fool's joke, it's for real. All right, tomorrow though looks nice, still nice and bright. Temperatures in the mid 30s. Wednesday, a few degrees on top of that. A little bit warmer on Thursday. It will be a little breezy, but still not too bad. And then Friday, I really like Friday. A couple rain showers early, but check out the temperatures. It's going to be great, mid to upper 50s, close to 60 both Saturday and Sunday. Again, dealing with the showers, but at least it's going to be warm. Get rid of the rest of that kind of gross snow that's out there, right? Clear us out.
Let's do it.
Send us into spring.
Yeah. I like it. Sounds great. All right. Thanks Jess, very much. All right, now this, a woman in Colorado saw a news story about a woman finding her jewelry box in the rubble of a campfire.
She later learned that all the precious jewels inside were melted. Once Stacia Shane Clark saw the news story, she knew she had to help.
I love the pink gems and the blue gems. I love London blue topaz.
A world of sparkle and color.
I love it all. I don't discriminate.
That's the one Stacia Shane Clark wants everyone to live in.
I've been making jewelry for 20 plus years. Everything's made in sterling silver and either Swarovski crystal or precious gemstones.
Each piece is requested.
It's just a little something.
Something that sparkles.
It is the photo that I have used to inspire this entire project.
For a world turned black and white.
I'm creating jewelry for the survivors of the campfire. I can't give someone a house, I can't give someone a car, I can't give them a job. I'm not close enough to help them with anything like that. And this is so silly.
The offer wasn't silly to the people from Paradise.
I saw your post about campfire survivors losing their jewelry, and we lost everything in the fire. You are so sweet. But I lost my grandmother's pearls.
Every request comes with a story.
I love jewelry, and I lost all in the fire.
Heartbreak that makes her fingers go faster.
Yeah, it does. It does.
She knows their worlds need so much more than something silver.
So it's a 3-pearl necklace.
But if this something brings a smile, well, that's the world Stacia wants to help bring back.
So now I'm going to fill those jewelry boxes and make sure everybody has something that makes them sparkle when they go out.
In Frederick, Katie Eastman, 9 News.
Perfect.
Nice.
The jewelry you can replace, even though it's sentimental.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now this, you probably heard, but there's a lot of reaction coming up. The most lovable personalities in the NFL is hanging up the cleats. Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, he announced it yesterday, retiring from football, announced it on his Instagram account. Part of 3 Super Bowl winning teams, obviously, with the Patriots. The 5-time Pro Bowler owns the franchise record, in fact, for touchdown receptions, too, at 79.
Patriots owner Robert Kraft issued a statement following the news, saying in part, he never knew Gronk to have a bad day and that he looks forward to honoring him in both the Patriots and Pro Football Hall of Fame. Meanwhile, Patriots coach Bill Belichick says quote, "It was a pleasure and a privilege to coach Rob Gronkowski in the past 9 years. His elite combination of size, skill, intelligence, toughness, and ability to perform in pressure situations set him apart." And of course, Tom Brady weighing in, posting on Instagram, "It was an honor and privilege to play with Gronk, and that the NFL is a better place with him in it. I think he will be just fine."
A better place, but also a way more fun place with him in it.
What do you think about the pro wrestling rumor that's going around?
I don't know. I mean, he's done a little of that anyway, so
Yeah.
maybe he'll do a little bit. I hope that's not his sole focus, but we shall see. He definitely has a lot of options.
He does.
All right, let's see what Cindy's got working on for 5:30. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, guys. We have been fighting in Maine for years over jail funding. Well, Maine sheriffs now say that they have a plan, a long-term fix for our jail funding issues, and they say it's a good way to protect local taxpayers. We'll tell you what they have in mind. And there's a push in Augusta to change the qualifications for honoring police officers who have died in the line of duty in Maine. Exactly what does that mean? We're going to talk about that and much more all coming up at 5:30. Back to you.
Cindy, thanks so much. Florida Man Challenge, if you haven't heard of it yet, it's coming up next.
That was pretty fun. That's right, too. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Do I bring this or do I leave this? You can leave that. Leave it.
Adios, adios.
Adios.
Thank you. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, the point is to show the behind the scenes, so you'll see the good and the bad. Mostly the good. Lester says cell phones in school are a distraction. No, they should not be allowed. Thanks, Amanda. That's so sweet. Brenda weighing in on the baby boom story. She says it happened here in North Carolina at Wake Forest Baptist Hospital's Cancer Center. It was a nice thing considering what we were there for. Well, I hope you're okay now, and I would agree. It's a nice little thing to see. I know, I think so too, Leo. It's one of those topics that everyone has an opinion, and I can see both sides on this one, truly. My mom's a teacher, and, it can be really frustrating. I think it boils down to manners, just like respect and knowing to not be looking at your phone when someone's talking to you. Obviously, we kind of break that rule with this show, like we're talking with you guys, but looking at the tablet to see who's weighing in on Facebook. So it kind of goes against what I'm saying here, but yeah. I remember for preseason for sports in college, we would have to turn in our phones, and a lot of schools actually do that. You have to turn them in for the whole 2 weeks or whatever. And it's kind of cool to connect with your teammates without the phones. Okay. Oh, thanks for sending warmth, Mike. We appreciate it from Florida. Hey, we have the Florida Man Challenge coming up. Have you heard of it yet? That's cool, Ann. You continue to watch. One last check of our Pulse poll results tonight. Still 93% of you saying no, cell phones should not be allowed in schools. Thank you guys so much for joining in on that. Hashtag Florida Man Challenge. It's taking over our news feeds and probably yours too. Who comes up with these things? How it works, you open Google and in the search bar type the words Florida Man followed by your birthday, month and day only. And then you see what kind of headline appears for you. This is a challenge that spread like wildfire across the newsroom. Check it out.
There we go. Now that's just mean.
You gotta read it.
Florida man accused of shooting cat with a crossbow. That's just mean.
Florida man with no arms charged with stabbing Chicago tourist.
Florida man arrested accused of shoving woman to get egg rolls.
That's good, I guess.
Oh, that's not bad at all. I'm great.
What does it say?
It just says Florida man attacked by a neighborhood squirrel who has residents on high alert. See?
Family of Florida woman run over on I-95 sues man she met online.
So now that this has gained some steam, you might actually have to scroll down after you hit that search tab because there's tons of stories out there now about the Florida Man Challenge. So you'll have to scroll a little bit to see what your headline is, but definitely worth checking out. Very funny. Well, that does it for News Center Now at 5. News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now. Bye, Facebook. Oh, did you finish?